Having a full-time job is awesome, obviously. Pays the bills. It's just nice to have a good job. But I'll tell you, it's been a whole lot harder to do these videos. I just don't have time. I get home, got things to do at the house. But today we're gonna do a little video. Just got off work, it's 4 o'clock. Let's go home, make a video. Hey, Bubba. Okay guys, short video today, but I want to rant just a little bit. And if you are a stock photographer, I would love to hear your input on this. As you guys know, if you watch my channel at all, I have been shooting a lot with this X100V. Changed my stock production immensely. Normally what I do when I shoot stock photography is I do very planned out shoots in the studio, light them, well exposed, very planned production, if you will. I have a lot of success with images like that. But I bought the X100 so that I could have a camera that goes anywhere I go very easily, but produces high quality photographs. And it does that. It's been great. But it's opened my eyes to a couple of things that, and I'm gonna rip on Shutterstock a little bit, because the other agencies don't seem to be doing this. And I've got two stories. Here are my stories. When I use this camera, the way I use it is I set the shutter speed, I set the aperture, but I let the camera do the ISO reading. I put ISO on auto. I let the camera do the figuring when it comes to ISO. I have set the camera so that the highest ISO the camera will set, however, is 3200. It doesn't go above that. What I have found at 3200, this camera produces amazing images. Little to no noise in a lot of these images that are shot at 3200, which is fantastic. I've pulled raw images into Lightroom, and you got that little slider that, noise reduction. If you pull it across like you're reducing noise, you won't see a difference in the image. There's just not a lot of noise, even at 3200, to be taking out. So, I mean, fantastic. But I have sent in images to Shutterstock specifically, and I don't know about you guys, but when I send things into Shutterstock, within minutes, they are rejected or accepted. It's amazing. It's like there's some little dude just sitting in his basement somewhere waiting for my photos to come in so that he can review them. I mean, they're so fast. But when I send these images in that have a high ISO, they get rejected, immediately rejected. Noise and grain, whatever the little disclaimer is that says they're too noisy, they've got grain, and they've got issues, so they're rejected. Now, at 3200, I would kind of expect that, but in this camera, the noise is, like I said, nil to, they're beautiful images. It kind of hit me that that's a little weird that they get rejected that quickly, but I let it go. Like I said, other agencies are accepting these same exact images, and I learned a long time ago not to sweat the rejections, to just keep right on rolling. So that's what I've done. The other day, however, I had an image that I shot years ago of a cake topper, a wedding cake topper, the bride and the groom that they put on the wedding cakes. I had bought one of those, took it to the beach, and took a bunch of pictures of it in the sand and in the waves at the beach. Well, it dawned on me the other day with the whole pandemic thing, let's put a mask on those bride and groom, which I've done before, but I hadn't done on the one with the wave crashing against them. And when I sent it into Shutterstock, it was rejected within minutes. I mean, literally by the time I got done uploading 3 or 4 or a handful of images, by the time I typed in the descriptions, the first ones were already getting rejected. The reason behind the rejection was this image is already in your portfolio. How did they figure that out so quickly? Now, if it took them 2 or 3 days to figure it out, I don't think there would have been a red flag, but it literally took just minutes for somebody to say, this is already in your portfolio. Now, I don't have a very big portfolio. I have a little over 700 images in my stock portfolio, which is not big by any stretch of the imagination. But even at 700 images, there's no way that dude in his basement can look through my images that quick to know that shot's already been there. And the reality is it hasn't been there because I put, surgical masks on their faces through Photoshop. So it's not exactly the same image, but I'll bet the metadata is the same. So my little theory is with the high ISO or the image itself, the first obstacle in Shutterstock must be get through the metadata. It's looking through that and checking, and if there's similarities or high ISO, it's kicking it out. I contacted Shutterstock. If you can go on their website, click the contact us, and you get this little chat window that comes up. And I was chatting with a lady who works there. I don't remember what she does exactly, but I started asking some questions. And she said, well, send it in again and see if it works. Now, I had sent it in twice already. I'm talking about the bride and the groom. Rejected immediately for the same reason. She said, well, that's odd. It shouldn't have been like that. And I asked her, does the metadata have something to do with it? And she said, no. So I said, well, how does the guy in the basement checking my photos, how is he able to figure it out so quickly? And she said, well, they have thumbnails that they're looking at. Again, 700 images and a small portfolio that I have, there's no way that anybody can look at it in just a minute or two glance, say, ooh, that image has already been there. I don't believe it. So, not trying to create a conspiracy theory. I'm not completely unhappy with Shutterstock. I need to do a little update because we need to talk about this royalty thing. I think that the first hurdle to get through at Shutterstock is the metadata. And if for any reason there's a red flag about your image, they're not even going to look at it. It's just going to get kicked out. Tell me I'm wrong, and I'll believe you. But that is my little thought for the day. Yes, I'm ranting a little bit. Yes, it frustrates me a little bit because I had 2 really nice images that I think would have had some sales. Hopefully they'll do well at other agencies and it won't be any big deal. But hey, I missed you guys. It's been 3 weeks, I think. I'm going on my 4th week back at work, so it's been about 3 weeks since I posted a video, and I apologize for that because I do miss doing it. I just don't have the time that I used to have. So if you watch this long, if you watch this at all, I thank you. Give me a thumbs up if you would. Thank you for those people who are new subscribers. I greatly appreciate that as well. And I'm going to go out here showing you a few images that I have taken recently with this to give you kind of an idea of what I do. And we'll just play those out with a little bit of music. And I will see you guys in the next one, which hopefully won't be 3 weeks from now. Hopefully it'll be sooner. So have a great day, guys.